Hi guys! Looking through the papers, you might have noticed in math this week that we are going to be doing basically a little review week, and then we have a test at the end. The test is in your packet, so don't take the test until you've done these because these will help you take the test better. So the first one that you're going to do is the review A page, which hopefully was the first page in your packet. I'll show you what it looks like in a second. And then the next couple of days, I want you to do the worksheets before you do the video so that you can try it on your own first, make sure that try to do it on your own, see if you're doing it, and then I'll go through it with you in the videos to make sure that you are understanding it and you are getting it right. Also, don't forget, these are your formula quizzes things. We're doing areas this week, so make sure that you're studying the area part in the middle there. I only have two hands, so I can't really show you. Area, okay? This is the one that we're quizzing on this week. Some of you haven't taken the perimeter yet at this point. It's Saturdays when I'm recording this, so if you haven't done that, you need to make sure that you get that done. And something else. You will be able to use this on your test, but not on the quizzes, because the quizzes are to see if you can do that. But just know that you can use your formula sheet on the test. So that's basically my announcements. Now let's go ahead and I'll walk through this little review sheet with you. Okay, so this is the page that we're doing. You should have gotten a little piece of paper. I don't have the copy of it with me, but it basically has the outlines for this. But again, these are just labeling the lines. This will be on the test. It's pretty simple though. Point N, you're gonna draw a point, and then the symbol is point N, right? Line AB, well, let's do a different one. Let's do angle D. So again, you're just doing these again. You've done these before, but just so you know, this is something to brush up on if you're not sure how to do it. But angle D, angle is an angle. Doesn't really matter. And then the symbol would be angle D. And then you can label it too, I think. Just showing that this is the angle that you're talking about, not this angle and not this angle. So hopefully you'll get that. That's not too complicated. Again, there should have been a little piece of paper that had lesson 81 on it. If you're missing it, you can go back to lesson 81 that has that. So another thing that is going to be on your test is you're going to get two triangles that look like this, kind of, and they're going to ask what about these triangles is similar or the same or congruent. So all you really have to do is, I marked everything on these triangles, but not everything may be marked on the test. I don't remember. But because there's one line here and one line here, that means that they're congruent to one another, okay? They're different shapes, so I have line AB is congruent to, whoops, sorry, and that's the sign for congruent to line EG, okay? Because it has that symbol, I know that those are the same. It's not congruent to any other lines because the other lines don't have the same shapes. I have EF is congruent to BC because they have two hash marks. I have AC is congruent to GF because they have the same, but EG, or even in the same triangle, EF is not congruent to FG, okay? So I'll show you how to do the non-congruent to. It shows EF, so it's line segment EF, and you just do the congruent to sign is not congruent to. You can pick. It could be this one, it's not the same, this one's not the same, it's not the same as this one, and not the same as this one, but it is to this one. So you could go is not congruent to A, B, or you could even list them all. You could go AB, line AB, line, what's my other one that I didn't do? EF, or AC, line AC. And then you could say it is congruent to a BC, right? Okay, same with the angles, right? So this one has 2 dashes or little circle things. This one has 2, so those are saying those are the same, that they're congruent to each other. So you could say angle B, let's do angle B, is congruent to angle E, okay? So that's where your line up here, your symbols and drawings are coming into play in your work, all right? Because everything is congruent on these triangles, you could say triangle ABC or GEF is congruent to one another, okay? That's also true. You can do this with other shapes too, as we've looked at. Say I have a rectangle, and I can say the angles of this rectangle, 1, 2, 3, 4, are congruent to one another maybe, but I could say that the lines are not. I could say these lines are congruent to one another, but these are not. So there's different ways you can kind of do that as well. So hopefully that gives you an idea. You don't necessarily have to do anything on this. Just realize this is what they're saying. Oh, and one more thing I wanted to point out too. Say I had an equilateral triangle, and I kind of talked about this, but say I had an equilateral triangle. Technically, you could have more than one line because they're all congruent to one another. You could say, let's say A, B, C again. You could say AB is congruent to BC is congruent to CA or AC, and that would just be, let's go AB is congruent to BC is congruent to, let's go CA. Okay, so that's another way you could write that, kind of being the same. All right, so pretty simple worksheet. You should have probably even been able to finish it in that time. If you have questions on it, let me know. Have a great day.